Welcome back to A to Z here on Locked On Sports Atlanta, free on YouTube, wherever you get your podcast, search Locked On Sports Atlanta. Follow me on Twitter at Mark Zinno, MarkZinno. And don't forget to follow us on Locked On Sports Atlanta at Locked On ATL. Keep up with all the great shows we have here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. We certainly appreciate you guys making all of our shows part of your daily regimen. We're having so much fun doing this and glad you guys are along for the ride. Love to interact with you folks on social media. Follow Twitter and Instagram. Same thing at Mark Zinno. And let me know what you guys think of the show, what you like to hear. If you like what we're doing, and we'll keep doing it. If not, we'll try to change direction. But certainly, again, appreciate all the feedback that we get here at Locked On Sports Atlanta. Okay, I'm going to dive into a topic you guys know that I'm passionate about. And clearly, it's part of like the fabric of who I am at this point in my life. But sports gambling and sports betting. And I'm going to get to one of the stupidest parallels I heard in a moment, but I saw the news earlier today that Colorado Rockies outfielder Charlie Blackmon has reached a partnership with Maxim Bet, and he will be a brand ambassador for marketing campaigns, promotion, social media content for the online sportsbook. We're starting to see more and more of this, conversion, or I should say convergence of sports betting and sports and athletes and everything else. And for so long, sports betting has been a very, passe topic. Like no one really talked about it. It was considered so bad, and it was a thing that you didn't do. And it was, oh, we're not going to mention it. And then every now and then you had the Brent Musburgers of the world and the Al Michaels sneaking into a broadcast, and we all chuckled because we knew what he was referring to and everything else. And now that it's here and it's been legalized in 34 states, you need 16 to really get off their tail, and including the one that I'm sitting in right now. Governor Kemp, if you're listening, get off your ass. That said, it is here and it is part of the daily lexicon of sports, and it's a big part of sports, and it's a multi-million, close to $1 billion operation in sports. And oh, by the way, Blackmon is not allowed to promote betting on baseball specifically, but he can just endorse the sports book in general, which is fine. And so it was yesterday that Adrian Wojnarowski, Woj of ESPN, was on NBA Today, and he was dovetailing the conversation about Kyrie Irving's interactions with fans in Boston, and somehow, and you're going to hear it here in a second, brought in the idea that gambling is going to make fan interactions worse. Take a listen.
We're going to see more of this in the league. Nothing to do with, there's a different dynamic with Kyrie Irving in Boston. Mm-hmm. But as gambling becomes more prevalent in the arena, people gambling on almost everything that goes on with a game, and they're drinking, players, organizations, and you talk to them, they already feel it in the arena. And when people are losing money in real time and they're pointing to a player on the court that said, hey, I bet you to score more points in the second quarter than somebody else, and I lost. You're adding an element to that we're not talking as much about, but is a real factor in this league. And I think you are going to see more instances of fans being even more vitriolic toward players in this league. And it's an issue they're going to have to deal with, but it comes, I think, with the influx of gambling money that everyone's going to profit off of, both players and the league and the BRI. Yeah. But it's going to impact the way the relationship between fans and players in real time.
So that was Woj. And I can't think of a dumber thing when it comes to sports gambling. First of all, the idea that sports gambling is going to make the relationship between fans and players worse is comically laughable given where we are in America today and what has happened in our past. Two, the idea that the gambling is going to do this and not the drinking, to me, is hysterical. And you even mentioned the drinking. Like, he even mentioned fans are gambling and they're drinking because alcohol has never, ever contributed to a bad fan event. Have you remembered and heard about that Malice at the Palace thing? Yeah, gambling wasn't around then, wasn't an issue. A crazy fan stabbed Monica Seles, for crying out loud. I know it's a different sport and a different country, but dear Lord, we had a chair thrown into the stands in a baseball game. I think it was in Oakland before sports betting was even here. What are you talking about, Wojnarowski? The idea that people are so upset about the loss in the gambling that they're going to take it out on fans because they're close enough in the arena is so stupid. That's already happening. How many times have we heard and seen the interaction on social media? Dude, I had you in fantasy and you suck. That's already here. And there's not even like legitimate money in fantasy, comparatively speaking, to actual sports betting. And I'm talking about, the joker who's in a 12-team fantasy league with 11 of his idiot friends who drafted whatever in the 5th round and he stunk. Like, I mean, we're not even talking like actual gambling, like in the arena gambling. I mean, it's just we have this crazy, draconian, archaic idea of what sports betting is and what it does to this country. And I've said repeatedly, there are places in America right now where you can walk around armed to the gills with weapons. You can smoke as much weed as you can get your hands on, and you can kill babies. And I'm not making a political statement at all, but you can do those 3 things, and somehow placing a wager on the Nets Celtics game is going to be the downfall of society. Do you understand how stupid that sounds out loud? Like, honestly, you're worried about that. You think that is going to create or make fan interaction worse. No one has ever tried to stop putting alcohol in arenas to curb fans' inappropriate reactions with professional athletes. Not once have they ever. But I guarantee you, you know what never happens in church? A fight never breaks out. Why? Because no one's ever freaking drunk. I mean, this is like just so stupid. And I feel like the other people on set who were with Wojnarowski, the fact that nobody went like, dude, are you real? Like no one even questioned it. Like we all just agreed that this was okay. This was a normal statement. It's just asinine. Like it's idiotic. And I have to sort of rush to the defense of sports betting here. One, just as somebody who personally, makes part of a living off of it. And I don't say that from just making actual bets. I say it as an analyst because I do it for several sports betting networks. But, the whole concept of me placing a wager, having some sort of dramatic turn in society. You know what? Fans who have tendencies to accost, insult, curse, scream, give the middle finger at professional athletes in public, okay? They don't need a bet to do it. They would do it on their own. It's just like the idiot who didn't need alcohol to run on the field and get the crap beat out of him by police. He would do it anyway. The alcohol just made it easier. I mean, there are certain people out there, if you would like to curb their behavior, guess what? Start throwing people in jail at games. All those fights we see in the stands at football games? Is the NFL doing anything about that? Nope. Has nothing to do with a bet. Nothing. And by the way, we see them in the same places, right? Philadelphia, California, whether it's, San Francisco and LA or, Raiders fans, wherever they are. Nuts. No one ever breaks out in a fight in Jacksonville because no one cares because the fan bases are awful. And that's what it happens in those passionate cities where the fans actually care. And the idea, oh, by the way, that the one idiot in a 20,000 seat arena, we have to find a way to prevent one person from being an idiot because 19,999 other ones aren't, is just flawed logic, period. Punish the perpetrator, ban them from arenas, ban them from all sports arenas, and be done with this. Across the board. Remember the old Unsolved Mystery show? Find that dude's face, put a sketch up. This guy's not allowed in any arena in America. See it? Right there. Can't come in. It's that simple. You want to start a fight? You want to be an idiot? Fine. We'll treat you like one. Enjoy some time in prison. You'll never go to another live sporting event again. Hell, I don't want you at a kid's Pee Wee soccer match. If I find you there, you're going to get arrested. No. You're going to blame it on gambling? Come on, man. Like it just literally makes no sense. None whatsoever. So, whatever, Woj. Just break news, dude. That's it. Just drop Woj bombs. No one needs your commentary. Honestly, because it just doesn't make any sense. Like, you're not thinking logically. And that's the thing. And I don't mean to be insulting to the guy. I've never met him. Obviously, I don't know who he is. But I don't mean to be insulting by any stretch of the imagination. But the correlation there is just such a stretch. Like you're talking about a Grand Canyon size leap you're trying to make. It literally makes no sense. And oh, by the way, if you'd like to eliminate some of these you know what almost never happens? A fight in the hockey stands with a player. You want to know why? Because they can't get close to him. Let's move the fans back a little bit, right? Get them a little bit further away. We don't have a problem. Maybe we should do that because maybe the fan experience doesn't need to be so in your face. Or, just if you go to an arena, act like a freaking adult. That's the other option. You could try that for once. Frustrating. One final note here. Because I like things that are circular and, the way the circle of life comes around, it certainly was fitting that Freddie Freeman hit his first ever home run in a Dodgers uniform in his first at-bat against the Atlanta Braves for his first home run. And then last night, Kenley Jansen, who spent all those years with the Dodgers, got his first ever Braves save against the Dodgers, striking out Freddie Freeman. It's cyclical, guys. It all comes together. It works. Really, really does. So, all right, that'll do it for today's edition of A to Z. Appreciate you guys spending some time with me today. I certainly love all the feedback, so keep it coming. And certainly want to hear more from you guys out on social media. Make sure you guys make A to Z part of your first listen every day. Now make your second listen Hitting Hard with John Chuckery. Get the Atlanta sports talker, John Chuckery, every day and anytime with the real fans' take on Atlanta sports. Hitting Hard with John Chuckery, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta, free and available on YouTube. And wherever you get your podcasts, search Locked On Sports Atlanta. You guys have a great day. Don't take any crap from anybody. See ya.